way there because you feel the heat. I tell you like that.
Oh man.
Oh, well, welcome, Jacob. Welcome. Thanks for starting on through. Let's make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. You know what? Let me explain why you need to hit the like button. You hit the like button, it makes us feel happy, and it makes us come out with some great content. That's what it does, because it makes us search for good content. So this way you guys can understand why we so heavy on guns, training, laws, and government tyranny. Because of course we cannot leave government tyranny out of this, because it's a government that actually turns around and talks a whole bunch of nonsense.
We better not leave government out of this.
Now, if I heard you correctly, Brother Ron, before I rudely interrupted while I was talking, did I hear you say something about
you say farting or talking?
You trying to say I get eggs right there? You ain't understand my look here. I'm hyped. I'm like a fat man and pig right now. A fat man and a pig right now, sitting in the hot, steamy, straight junk of nothing, because I got a full belly and those great food. So like you're like a baby with this been having to suckle on the nipple and yeah, it's a whole different story right now with me right now. I'm just in a good mood.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Now, if I heard you correctly, you were talking about how you always watching your surroundings when you bring your when you get your firearm in your hip, right? Did I heard that correctly?
Well, even if I don't have it, I'm still
you're still watching everything around you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. There are moments where I can't take it with me. Let me put it to you like this.
Okay.
All right, where I can't take it with me. So I'm always it became such. I just being aware of my surroundings, because hey, look, if I don't have it with me, that means I might have to run faster.
Or duck. Hide behind something.
Or hide behind something. Or, you know what I mean? So it's not so much about being able to, if I happen to, in the moment, it's just a thing of being cautious of what's going on around you, man, because you just never, situations arise so fast, and you really sometimes don't even have time to respond. It's like, all right, so, but if you see it in the moment, you got that moment that you see it is your time to react. Right, and a lot of times you got to make so quick, fast decisions just to try to salvage out of the moment, whatever, depending on what's going on. And it's like, all right, I give an example before we get too far into it. When I was out fishing and I was telling you the story how the bird got into the water. Right. We didn't have time to figure it out.
Right.
We didn't want the bird to die. We didn't want him to drown out there in the water. We knew he couldn't lift off and take off because of this lines being wrapped. So we had split-second decisions we had to make. So thank God that me and him was kind of had one mind in the moment. We both did the same thing. We took, because the fishing rod was in the water, so we couldn't get the fishing rod. We both took our fishing rods and tried to grab my fishing rod. We got it real quick. We got it in, and then we just started pulling the bird. Now, once he realized that I was pulling the bird in, he didn't stay there. He ran to go get cutters, gloves, everything that we could possibly need to try to take. I never said anything. So that's what I said, when you with somebody that's like-minded, they think fast. So he was on it. He was just like got gloves, stuff to make sure that we was able to, while I'm still using because I couldn't use a rod to reel it in because it was messed up. So I'm pulling like this with my lines, trying to get him in there as fast as possible. Once I got him over to the water and he saw that I had him near the water, that's when we both jumped over the railing at the same time and pulled him up and lifted him over the water, came back over there, and everything that we needed was right there so we can, clear him up real fast again. So that's my whole point is, the more aware you are of your surroundings and what's happening in the moment gives you much more. Those seconds might seem like they fast, but it gives you a lot more time to react to whatever it is happening. Because if you just walking around like this, and he might, I didn't see it coming. Well, you was walking around like this, tunnel vision. But that's my whole point. If that makes sense.
It makes total sense. And I said this before and I say it again. Every time I have a thought in my head about a specific video or some content, you always have a way. This comes back to like-minded individuals. You always have a way to somehow, some way talk about what I want to talk to you about.
Now here's the thing.
Go ahead.
And listen, Jay have said this before, and I'm being honest, and this is being honest. Me and Jay, we never talk about the show before the show.
Never.
Even if we have some content, if I had something, I don't even watch the video. I'll see a few seconds and I'll send it to him, and I'll never talk about it. We don't have no backside conversations about whatever it is. And the reason why we intentionally kind of do that is so that we have he has his opinion, I have my opinion, and we're not influencing each other until we get live and see it in real time and talk in real time. So that's kind of why we don't really do a whole lot of backdoor conversations about this stuff. But make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It makes us
just
get more
a little bit of effort. Just a little bit. No effort.
Like the same amount of time it takes you to flip up and get out our screen is the same amount of time you can just hit that dumb button and then flip up. It's milliseconds. Milliseconds. So
what we got today, bro?
Well, Ron, first and foremost, you sent me a video sometime a few days ago, and I watched some of it, but that's not the video I want to first focus on. All right.
Okay.
I need to focus on this other video because you brought up a very good point about how always watching your surroundings, knowing what's around you, always being prepared. And being that our actual show tonight on Firearm Fridays always talk about guns. So, here goes something that I want your opinion on.
Why do I feel like my brain is about to get tortured again?
I'll tell you, like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna destroy your brain in a little bit. I'm gonna destroy it. I'm literally gonna destroy your brain on the processes of firing and teaching somebody how to use a firearm. But for this specific video, we're not gonna hurt you too much. I like to ease into pain.
Okay, all right. I feel you.
All right, so this is something.
I don't know why I feel like I should have said pause in that one, but.
Well, I should have said pause too when I said ease it on in. But see, on this show, we don't really need to be concerned about what we say to each other because we're both secure. We understand what we're talking about.
Right. What's up, Isaiah?
All that other stuff is unnecessary, so I believe.
Isaiah,
very appreciated you. Make sure you hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. If you like our content, share it, subscribe. Subscribe to the OG Network. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Over here in this show, you get a real good understanding of what we talk about. We may not know the laws that sit in your state, but I'll tell you what. We understand what the laws are symmetry, which in other words, which is very similar in every state. We know what the laws are all about and how it is affecting our show. Our show is really talking about content on gun usage, training, instructing, what's good, what's not, if it's useful, not useful, all that other good stuff. So that's what we do on Firearm Fridays here on the OG Network.
And every time like now, I believe, I'm not sure what's going to happen because I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. I see my glass shaking right now. But no, so we also incorporated some reaction videos in there too, because before we go a little bit further, listen, I know that Jay is getting ready to start doing some reaction videos on his channel. So we definitely want y'all to follow and subscribe because that is going to also filter into the OG Network channel too. So make sure y'all like and y'all subscribe. We appreciate y'all very, very, very much. But go ahead, Jay. Sorry,
all right, so you never apologize. Look, brother Ron, never apologize to me because listen, we two bees in the same hive right now, you and I. All right, we don't fight for who's in control, nothing like that. We understand what it's all about. There you go, brother. There you go. There you go. I understood exactly what you said. Because if I turn around and talk like Boom House, it'd be a whole different kind of story. I start talking like Boom House, he's trying to figure out the government what I'm trying to say, and then only people in the South understand what I'm really trying to say, because I know what I'm saying, and other people don't understand what I'm saying, then they get my man. So basically, you understood what I'm saying. So if you didn't understand what I'm saying,
I know they're like, what in the world are these two talking about? Don't worry.
We're talking about guns. And we're talking about protection. And we're talking about learning how to use your weapon, whether it's a side holster or a rifle, aka whatever you want to call your rifle. But this is what it's all about, knowing what to do. So we always talk about people who are training or trained to using firearms. So let's run this video and let's have some fun.
Look at this unbelievable video. We'll slow it down to show you just how bold these suspects are. The young man without a shirt goes for the uniformed Detroit police officer's gun on his right side. He gets it. Meanwhile, his accomplice in the Adidas pants pulls a gun, pointing it at the officer. There's a struggle. The officer wrestles his duty weapon, a 9mm, back from the suspect. The two run off. The officer does not shoot at them.
This is just a ridiculous crime.
Detroit Police Commander Arnold Williams says it happened Saturday evening at the BP station near the Southfield and Joy Road. There's nothing to indicate that this officer, who was off duty heading into work, was targeted specifically. Investigators say it was all about getting the gun.
There's no way I can explain the mindset of someone who would do something like that, but the one thing I can explain is if they would do that to a uniformed police officer, can you imagine what they would do to a regular citizen?
Investigators have identified both suspects. They've executed 2 search warrants at their homes and are in contact with their parents. But still, as of Monday afternoon, they're not in
Boy, that was
police
a glad
custody.
picture.
If it's any family members that are sheltering them or have any information, encourage them to come in, and we want them to turn themselves in, because we're coming for them. We're going to find them.
Detroit Police rewards team.
All right. So with that being said, Ron, do me a favor. Hit that commercial. Hit that commercial, brother Ron, before we get into it.
All right, hold on 1 second there. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Why am I having what? Why can't I have a problem with?
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't have it set up there.
All right, don't worry about it. All right, we're running. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can run it. Let's see if I can run it. Let me see if I can run it.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and they're probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
All right.
All right, and we're back. Make sure y'all take advantage of that OG Network 26 promo code for all of that top to bottom products that you may be interested in. Go spend $35. Then you put that code in, OG Network 26, and then you get a 15% discount. And that's real talk.
That's right. Use that OG Network 26, and get you 15% off your whole purchase of $35 or more.
Yes.
At topbottom.com.
Yes.
All right. Now, here's the thing. As we just watched that video,
right?
Now, we know, or we saw rather, it's a police officer that's off duty getting ready to go into work.
Right.
Detroit, Michigan.
Right.
A state where you have the right to carry your firearm. Now, you and I are very strong advocates behind gun law of the Second Amendment. Hence the reason why it's up on behind me.
Right.
And we also believe that you have the right to protect yourself according to the 14th Amendment as well. You have the right to protect yourself and your property as long as you have the right to carry your firearm openly, concealed, and openly.
Right.
So we now look at a police officer that may be on his way to work or coming out of work, having his actual pistol, someone trying to steal his pistol in broad daylight.
Right.
And like the chief of police said, if they're willing to do that with police officers, imagine what somebody just barely on the road or just a regular citizen is going to have to go through. Now, as we saw, we know that this police officer, the first thing he did was he was trained how to protect his weapon in his holster.
Right.
Trained to do that. Where I found it very, very disturbing is that he was able to get flipped by the young man.
Right.
The young man looked half his weight, and the young man was able to flip him. So there's a point of him losing control of his weapon. Which tells me he was not fully trained on how to contain his weapon in his holster. And or I didn't like the fact that he didn't shoot him when he ran out the store. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. He should have ran out the store and plugged them full of holes. This way he doesn't do it to anybody else.
I knew I knew you was going to say that.
How is it possible? You embarrassed me on camera. You flipped me over on camera. You tried to take my duty weapon, and you got nothing but a pair of pants on, and you weigh nothing but $110. You flipped me over. Your friend turns around and points his gun at me, and I don't plug you full of holes? Shit.
Yeah, you know, and I guarantee you people are going to be like, oh, if let's say he would have actually done that, which is, and then they say, oh, he shouldn't have never did that. First of all, here's the thing. Again, police officer goes into the store. Now, again, as a police officer, he's probably never thinking that someone would be that crazy to try to take his gun. Now, here's the thing. This is what I don't like about police officers, how, where, and how they carry their firearms. I honestly don't like the way they carry it because it's always open and it's on their hip. I don't listen, and this is just me. I don't like that hip stuff because you can't, if you're turning around to do something, it's on your hip. You don't see everybody behind you what they might be trying to do. This is, again, being aware of your surroundings. Now, as a police officer, you're probably not thinking that somebody's going to be that crazy, but hey, I'm sorry, y'all, but my screen is freezing a lot. I don't know why. It's doing it again. But again, a police officer, who would have thought he would do that to a police officer?
Yeah.
Now, what's going on, Coco? Now, here's the thing. This is where you have to, this is why I say, again, and it's crazy you brought this video up because I'm like thinking in my head, like, yeah, being aware of your surroundings. Now, who would have thought as a police officer, you actually had to be even more aware of your surroundings because you have a firearm on you. Now, I don't like the firearm thing in the side. I just don't. I hate it. I'm a front person somewhere closer to my front parts, even if it's a little closer to my side or whatever. To me, that makes more sense. But, you know, and then people who carry their guns, listen, I don't know why I've seen a lot of ladies that do this. Ladies, listen to me clearly. Do not carry your firearm in your back. Don't do it.
Yes, please don't do it.
I remember I was in a restaurant, and it was a restaurant, and the lady was, she was there. She had a firearm on, and I understood why she had it in her back because she's working in the kitchen. So in her back, the firearm is out of her way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in my mind, yeah, that's not a good idea because you got to reach, you got to do an extra. I'm sorry, y'all. My screen is blacking out on y'all. That's because I keep having issues, and I don't know why it is. It starts this way, but that means you got to reach for your back to try to go get it. That split second, they already at you.
Very true.
They are already at you. Jay, I'm going to refresh for some reason, and I'll be right back. All right?
All right, I got you.
All right.
As my brother Ron resets his actual computer, I'm going to share a small commercial with you guys that are living in Jersey and or near the Jersey area. There's a brother out there that we like to promote. Stand by.
Everybody, this is Gene Davis coming to you from Anubis Arms. We're here in Oaks, PA at the Oaks Gun Show. My wife Frances, Domingo here at our tables. We're based out of Pennsauken, New Jersey, right on Westwood Avenue by Cove Road. We are South Jersey's only black-owned firearm storefront. We also have a gun club. We offer training. We sell firearms, ammunition, and accessories. So come check us out.
All right, as we wait for Brother Ron to come back in, Brother Ron, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back.
We just spoke of a commercial there with Anubis Arms, which is a brother out in Pennsauken, New Jersey. And as a former resident that used to live in New Jersey, I don't understand why would anybody want to build a business that deals with gun selling in the state that they don't allow you to carry your firearm. I just don't understand it. But hey, that's on him. You know, that's on him and his family. They wanted to do it. and I've come across some controversial talks about guns and gun law of state of New Jersey, which we'll talk about in probably another segment of ours.
Yes,
because there's a lot of detail in there that I want to be precise with it, and we're going to come back right now and talk about this video about this police officer in Detroit, Michigan, that almost had his firearm taken from him. And one of the comments of the news reporter that really, really irked my nerve was the two people that tried to take this police officer's firearm are juveniles. Because the news reporter turned around and said that the police department has reached out to both their parents.
Oh, wow.
So my concern there is, okay, so if let's just say they're 19, or matter of fact, let's say they're 20, 21. 2021 makes you a full adult. You shouldn't be dealing with.
You're not a juvenile.
You're not a juvenile. The fact that they said juvenile says that they're under the age of 19, because of course, teen means juvenile. But depends on the state. Now, I'm not going to get into semantics. I'm not going to get into what was right, what was wrong. The only thing that was wrong with this police officer was that when he got his fat ass up off the damn floor from being embarrassed with his gun, he should have shot that kid right in the back and said, you know what? You should not have gone for my gun. Period. Right. Period. Because now that young man and his friend, because let's not forget, in the video it shows that his friend pulled out his gun
and was aiming it
and was pointing at the cop. So what was running through that kid's mind at that moment? Should I pull the trigger? Should I pull it? Should I not pull the trigger? What's going to happen if I pull the trigger? Right. He thought about it. But does that give him the right to do it with somebody else? Or better yet, even if his gun was legitimately his, which it wasn't, because we saw, even though, Ron, I understand you like to hold it under your belly, but some of us fat guys like myself, we can't have anything under our belly. That's going to hurt. And maybe we might just plug ourselves in our own nutsack. Okay, I'm just saying. So we got to have a different place to actually carry a firearm, because we're fat.
Which one of them bags that you wrap around you have on your front? It's up here and sit on your stomach.
I thought about that. But then, of course, you
rip down real fast.
Somebody might say I'm walking around with a purse, and I'm out to turn around telling them, yeah, I'm walking around with a purse. So what? They're killing over orange juice, but not stealing a weapon. Hey, listen, that's a true point. It's a true point.
All right, listen, I always get a lot of slack for this, but this is me, is that, somebody asked me, and this was one time I was having a conversation with my cousin, and we was talking about that, and he said, we were talking about somebody's, matter of fact, I was in Ohio when I was in Ohio last year. Okay. One of my cousins was like, how somebody go into a store and steal a candy bar, right? Right. And he was like, and they get killed over stealing a candy bar. It's not worth killing somebody over a candy bar. And I said, well, no, it is worth it, because the person that stole it made it worth it. They was willing to steal it, not knowing what the owner of that business intentions may be. No, it's not worth you dying over a candy bar, possibly. Doesn't mean that they're going to do it. But my thing is this: when you decide to take something that doesn't belong to you, you do not know what's on the other end of that. Right. You decided to take the risk. So if my thing is this: if it's not yours, don't steal it. Don't take it, because you don't know what. Listen, here's my point, and I'm not saying okay, not okay. This is just how I see things.
Sure.
If somebody, let's say I'm a store owner, right? And I want y'all to understand this, and I'm talking from a store owner's perspective.
Right.
Let's say I'm a store owner, and I keep having to deal with people coming in there, robbing and stealing my business, and to the point where now I'm not making money. My business is failing. Not because I don't have good product. It's because y'all stealing all the profits that I could have possibly made to take care of my family at home. Right. Every time you take something and steal something from somebody that's running a business, it is not okay to steal. You don't know what pressure that person is dealing with on the other end of that. And that one little last moment may be the end of it, and say, you know what? I'm not taking it no more. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is this: it's not worth it. Don't make it worth your life when you go steal it, because you don't know what's going to happen in the process of that. No, it's not worth dying over a candy bar. No, it's not worth dying over a soda. No, it's not worth. But again, if you go take something that doesn't belong to you, this is why I never feel sorry for people that steal. Because at the end of the day, everybody pays for theft. You don't think you do, but you do. And I'm explaining to you why everybody pays for theft. If I have a business in your community and people keep stealing from me, in order for me to make money, I have to raise the prices of the product or in the community in order for me to offset the amount of money that the thieves keep stealing from me. Now, there's another cost that comes along with that. Then there's another cost. The other cost is this. I gotta put up cameras that cost me money. I might even have to hire a security person just to watch the people to try to keep them from stealing the product. That's why when you go into certain communities and stuff and they start complaining about the prices, this is why it's so high. Because then here's the other part. Y'all motivate them to keep doing it when you buy the product from them.
Yeah.
When you go buy the product that they keep stealing, now you motivating them to keep doing it. Why? Because now they have an income resource by you buying it every time they steal it.
Right. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Oh, the price is too high. Why do your prices are higher than somebody else? Because the people that live in this community that you socialize with, that you buying stuff from because you don't want to pay the real money for it or the true value of it, you prefer to pay less money because someone stole it, is the reason why my prices are going to be high because they keep stealing from me.
Right. But if you own a business,
and that's what they don't
understand that. If you've been in business, you understand that. But if you never had to work and put time and effort into owning and building something, you think it's a free fall for all, and you go take something for somebody, and that's where the thing. I keep telling people this. When someone put their life into something, you can't get that time back.
No, you can't.
So when someone says, if I work and I let's say I go buy me a vehicle, right?
Right.
And I put $40,000-$50,000 in purchasing this vehicle. I might have, if I save the money, it took me a long time to save the money. If I finance it, I'm still paying for a vehicle that I'm driving. You come and steal it. I can't get back none of that time and effort that I put into trying to purchase that vehicle. All that time is gone.
Right.
So not only are you stealing what I work hard to get, you stealing something that I put my time and effort traded for this. Yes, and at that point, if somebody handle you, that's why I said if they get handled, I don't feel sorry for them. Why? Because you made it work. If you got all that time and effort to go steal somebody, go start your own business. Go build something, make something, do something on an honest level so once somebody's willing to pay you for it.
You're right. And it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm going to talk about this really quick for about a minute and a half. I promise you. It's kind of funny because I used to ask the same thing when I used to see these individuals in the state of New Jersey. There's a specific town in the state of Jersey that was heavily on this crime factor of stealing people's cars. And I couldn't for the life of me understand. You prefer to steal someone's car out their garage, out their driveway, from in front of their house, but you won't go to the dealership where the cars was a plethora of cars that you can steal because you're not using the key. You can go to a freaking rental agency that has all the cars on the outside, steal their cars. Why do you need to steal somebody's car from their driveway, from their house, from their job? Why are you doing that when you have a plethora of car dealerships to steal from? And it's only because, and this is what one guy told me, Jay, you just don't understand the thrill behind it. I said, you see, now, if you come across a person like myself that would just straight shoot your ass because you're stealing from me, where's the joy going to be from there? Because I'm going to make sure you ain't stealing from anybody else. I'll deal with the ramifications later on because the first thing I'm turning around and says, well, how many people do I now have to worry about that are now concerned that they have to not worry about you stealing their car?
Exactly. That's how you deal with, listen, if somebody's going to go out there and steal and take from somebody else, if they end up getting unalive, guess what? You can 100% guarantee they won't do it again.
They won't, because if you get rid of them from it's like roaches. I'm gonna put it like that. Roaches. Many people don't like roaches in their house, right? So if they don't like roaches in their house, why do they allow people to steal from them?
I don't listen. Here's the thing: it's fun and games until they take it from you.
Exactly.
It's fun.
And it's always fun and game. It's always fun. It's always, and I apologize for cutting you off.
No, you good.
This is something really you just hit, and I didn't want to forget. It's always fun and games, to piggyback on what you said. It's always fun and games until it happens to you as the individual.
Right. And
that's
I remember
where it's even more funnier.
And I remember, and we're not off subject. We're still on subject, y'all. This is still about firearms and stuff like this. But this is why we say, criminals are not. Why is it that people feel sorry for the criminal when they go do something, as opposed to feeling sorry for the person that's being victimized when you come to steal it? Now, here's the thing, and I remember. Now, anybody know me from growing up and stuff like that? And when we was doing Philly Talk one time, my buddy brought up the fact, he said, when Ryan gets a vehicle, he always gonna put a system in there, and he's always gonna put some nice rims on the car. That was my MO. And I remember, my vehicle got broken into. They stole my system out of it. And listen, at the time I wasn't even driving it. I let my dad hold it. Right? I let my dad hold it. And I said, Dad, he was going to an event and he wanted to drive my vehicle. And I said, no, Dad, it's cool, whatever. And I said, just make sure you set my alarm because I know where he was going and I know how people are. Somebody broke in my vehicle. And guess what? My vehicle came home in the tow truck. Now I'm in the bed. My mom came home before my dad did because he was there waiting for the tow truck to come home. Now imagine you as a father has to come home and explain to his son that all of the work that he did to put this vehicle together to where it was, somebody violated. Now my father had no intentions of this happening. He went out to enjoy himself. You know what I'm saying? I come home. Now, don't get me wrong. People know me then as in a different mentality.
Right.
A lot different than what I am today. So, of course, everybody comes to the house. I mean, there's more to the story, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning time. My truck's coming home in the vehicle on a tow truck.
So bad.
I'll get into the whole details of the story at another time. I don't want to get too far. But basically, like I had to let my dad know it's okay. It's okay. Now, I mean, I'm not okay with it, but it's okay. It's not your fault, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
Everybody knew, what everybody expected was a show of me acting a fool out there because somebody broke in my vehicle and took my stuff. It's not my father's fault. He didn't go out there looking for somebody to steal in it. It just so happened. And listen, I could have went there and parked my vehicle, and the same thing would have probably happened. It's not his fault. But my dad was a tough dude, and I seen the look on his face as he felt so bad that it happened. Like, he was like, son, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Dad, don't worry about it. It's all right. It's cool. It's okay. It's 100% okay. It's a vehicle. You all right. My mom all right. Everybody all right. I'll put it back together. It might take me time, but I'm going to put it back together. But you know what I'm saying? But again, so I know what it feels like to put time and effort into something and somebody just come take it from you. And don't care of the damage they do to you, because it wasn't that they just took the stuff out of my vehicle. They damaged my steering column up. Yeah. They damaged the locks on the vehicle. Yeah. Getting in there, and they tore up the inside of my vehicle. Yeah. All because they wanted something out of my vehicle instead of them going out there working hard and doing it. Listen, I didn't go around taking nothing to nobody. I paid for everything I put it in. I put it in myself, and it cost me money. So that's why I'm sorry. I just don't have sympathy for people like that. I just don't. Right. And until you have somebody take something from you, you're really not going to understand what that's like. I worked. I saved. I worked overtime. I put money away for me to be able to enjoy something, and it has somebody in a moment come take all that away. I can't get the time back. I can't get that overtime back. I can't get that money back. Now you just forced me to have to go do it all over again while you out there selling my stuff for less than for pennies on the dollar for what I paid for. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for those type of people. I don't. But no, go ahead, bro.
No, I mean, I gotta agree with you. I gotta agree with you, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for a thief. A thief doesn't care what they do at that moment. They prefer to take. Listen, I've come across them. I've come across many people who like to steal. Okay, and I sat in front of them and I asked them, okay, look at the predicament you're in now versus where you could have been.
Right.
Oh, you know, Jay, you don't understand. And I'd be like, yeah, I really don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why you prefer to take than to ask. It's easier to ask than it is to take. And that's the mistake a lot of these people that like to steal, that's what they fail to understand. If you're hungry, ask. You'd be surprised somebody's going to turn around and feed you. If you need a roof over your head, they're going to find some type of shelter to give you. If you need some clothing, they're going to find a way to give you clothing.
Because
but here's the thing. Here's where a lot of people don't want to help. Okay. And I speak from first-hand experience. We don't want to help anybody who's a drug user. Ron, hit that commercial. And as I come right back to it.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
And tell them I sent you too.
Don't forget to use that OG Network promo code. Promo code is OG Network. That's OG Network 26 for 15% off a purchase of $35 at toptobottom.com. Big old shout out to toptobottom.com. They have some plethora and fantastic products to purchase from.
Yes, definitely.
Now,
appreciate you, Coco.
One of the things I had to jump into before we left, because I was getting really thirsty. That's why I had to drink.
You good, bro?
Screen. People don't understand. People don't want to help those that ask for help when they realize they're users. And I know we're sliding the goalpost a little bit, but here's the thing: if you're a user and you don't want to get better at your use, whatever it may be, that's the reason why people want to help you. And then those are the same people that prefer to take because nobody wants to give. But they fail to understand that that's the reason why they don't help, because you're using it not to better yourself, but it's to worsen yourself. So people in good conscience cannot help those that want to destroy themselves. They prefer to help people that are trying to get and empower themselves and move forward.
Right.
So I apologize for moving the goalpost there for a moment.
No, you're good. I mean, if people don't comprehend that all of this plays a part inside of each other, and my reason why I say that is because when you start to go around taking something from somebody, you don't know what that person put into what they own.
Right.
So you're taking a chance of putting your life on the line, not knowing where that person is, and if that person owns a firearm and they get to that point where they're just sick and tired. Not saying about right. This is not about right or wrong and stuff like that. That's decided when that moment happened between the courts and the law enforcement and stuff. What I'm saying is you don't know what's in the head of someone else when you decide to victimize them and what they're prepared to handle and not. So if you take the risk of doing it, you don't know it might be something you'll never come back from. So it does fit inside of the conversation that we have, is that when you don't know what's in the head of someone else. So when I go in there and something, probably stealing something, and something is a bag of chips, I don't know what's in the head of the owner. That might be the last bag of chips that they're gonna ever let somebody take from them.
Right, because you know how they say the old saying goes, "I'm sick and tired of being tired."
Right, or the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right,
that
may just be that moment.
Back or not, but
it takes a lot.
It takes a lot of straws.
Exactly,
to break the camel's back. But
right. So as we now let's bring Goldberg back more to our show.
Okay.
There's two things that we talk about. Rather, let me say this. There's a subject that you and I, that I can recall, have not really dove into, right?
Okay.
And it's dealing around guns, right?
All right.
And right before we touch that subject, I want you to give me your opinion on this photo.
Uh-oh. All right, I'm confused. What am I looking at?
Okay, it's a gun holster for a Glock.
Why does it look like it can't come out the holster?
And that's the point. Now, happy Friday, Ryan. Appreciate you sliding through. Please hit that like button.
Everybody, because I'm looking at this, I'm like, why does it look like you can't
hit that thumbs up, please?
It looked like you'll not be able to get the gun out of the holster.
That is correct, and that's what it's designed to do.
Okay.
It's designed specifically, and this is when I say that certain people who really believe in carrying their firearms should invest in the proper holster for their weapon. Okay. This holster is called a Balast. Balast. It is designed that no matter how much you tug at the grip, it won't come out until you put your thumb and click the locking mechanism to unlock it so it can slide out.
Okay.
So no matter how hard you pull on it, you ain't bringing it out until your thumbprint goes on that actual locking mechanism. So
all
this
right,
is to prevent.
You mean to tell me that your thumbprint is the only thing that will release it?
Not your thumbprint. Your actual thumb has to go on. Not your thumbprint. No. Okay. But the reason why I said thumbprint is because everybody understands what I mean by thumbprint. You use the flat part of your thumb.
Okay, yeah, right? All right.
But if you say your thumb, you can use the side, the left or the right side, the tip of your thumb. So
basically, you just got to put thumb pressure enough to click it on.
Correct. Okay. So that would allow the lever to unhook, and then you can pull out your pistol. So the reason why I spoke about that, and it's called the Balast, is Balast. Right. It's designed that no matter how much you pull on it, you can't get that pistol out of the holster. So that's a point of protection for your weapon as well. And as you mentioned before we ran to commercial, you said that many women have the bad habit of putting their guns or their weapons in their backs where they can't see it. And I agree with you. It should not be back there.
Right.
Those that actually have it on the hip, listen, if you have it on the hip, that's fine. Ron, you might have to read them comments because I can't put my glasses on right now.
Yeah, 45. He said Ryan said 45 or 9mm or 9mm 45 or whatever. Big mistake. He made a mistake, but I think he said 9mm or 45.
Well, we know that the 45 comes on the same kind of platform. And the reason why I say same kind of is because we know there's a 45 that comes in the Glock style.
Okay.
So we already know that. So it fits both. If we're going to talk about that actual holster. But that company makes holsters for every kind of pistol you have. The purpose of that photo and naming of that company is to get an idea of what company you should look out for to get you the proper holster so that your pistol will never come out of your holster until you actually unlock it. That's the purpose of the picture. Because, of course, we talk about protecting yourselves. Now, Ron, I love you as a brother from another mother. I would always be in your corner regardless of what it is that we do. 45 what? 45 what?
45 stronger than a 9mm caliber. 45.
I agree.
Yes, it is.
I agree to some degree. And I'm glad that comment came up for this particular reason. Because Ron and I, we are gun law advocates and gun enthusiasts. We love guns, right? But there's one thing that I don't recall, Ron, that we ever spoke about. And that is the actual bullet.
Okay. When you say the bullet, you mean like the grain of the bullet and the side, what caliber? Okay, go.
So with that being said, I want to present this to you, and you give me your point of view on it.
Is that y'all will come to my class and be so confident, and I'll ask you about your gun, and you say I carry all the time, and I wish them would. And I tell you, okay, pull your mag out and let me see your ammo, and then you show me this. You show me this. And that's when I know that you don't really know. And so I got to help you. If you don't know the difference between ammo, let's find out. So there's two different types of ammo. We have target ammo that we use inside of the range, which is inside this magazine right now. That's the one that y'all be carrying. That's wrong. And then we have self-defense ammo that we're actually supposed to carry inside of our gun. So let's learn the difference real fast. Ammo like this is called FMJ ammo, which stands for Full Metal Jacket ammo. It's the kind of ammo that we use for target practice when we're at the range. Now, the problem with this type of ammo is that it can easily go through things. So it can go through the paper, like your target paper. It can go through a wall. And worst case scenario, it can go through other people. So if you shoot one person, it can go through their body and hit the person behind them. That's why we don't want to carry this for self-defense ammo. It's too much of a liability. Now, this is called hollow point ammunition. So the center of this is hollowed out, and that means that when it hits its target, it will spread out or mushroom inside of them so it doesn't go through them. It stays inside of the person that you hit, and that way it's not a liability to everybody else. The fact that this does not go through walls and does not go through people, well, let me not say it's not impossible, but it's very less likely, makes this the perfect choice for self-defense ammo. So if you're going to be carrying your firearm with you, you do not want to carry full metal jackets inside of your magazine. This is not self-defense ammo. Hollow points are self-defense ammo. Also, please remember to follow your state laws on if you can even have hollow point ammo. Some states only allow you to have full metal jacket and they don't allow hollow points, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. But make sure you know your state laws so that you can keep your ass out of jail. I hope this helps. Bye, y'all.
So now, you and I, have not really spoken about that.
Okay.
So I want your point on it before I give you my point. You know how I like to do. I like to hear my brother Ron's opinion, even though his opinion doesn't matter. Okay?
You're right, and this price is probably not going to matter much. All right. Her observation of the bullets was, for the most part, spot on. Now, when she said bullets go through stuff, now the only thing that she said that I have to disagree with is the full metal jackets they consider them range rounds.
Right.
All bullets are used for self-defense. That's where I disagree with her. All bullets, in my opinion, and y'all know Ron's opinion don't matter, are used for self-defense. They are designed to do specific things differently. You know what I'm saying? So if a bullet is designed to go through you, if a bullet goes through you and it does what it was designed to do, that's what it was designed to do. And a hollow point hits you, it's designed to mushroom out. That's what it's designed to do. Now, there's other bullets that are a little different than hollow points where actually, when they go inside you, they break apart.
Right.
That's what they're designed to do. So there is different bullets for different reasons. And I get, for me, for the most part, she's spot on. I agree. Now, the only thing I would slightly argue with her is that what they consider range rounds, the reason why they call it range round, because they are the cheaper of the three.
Correct.
That's why people consider them range rounds, because they're cheaper than all the other three. Hollow points are illegal. Depends on your state.
Exactly. Depends on your state. Yes, depends on the state.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not disagreeing with you because it depends, but it just depends on your state, whether it's legal or not legal. My thing is that I can care 2 cents. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can care 2 cents. I don't think government should be able to tell you what you can use to defend yourself. That's just my opinion. That ain't got nothing to do with your law. You follow your laws. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying that I personally can say to them, you're not going to tell me what I can use to defend myself against government terror. You know what I'm saying? So when you turn around and make something illegal, that tells me that that's probably what I really should have.
Right.
To defend myself against y'all. Because y'all trying to stop it. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you in Canada.
Okay.
Ryan, you in Canada? Yeah.
All right. So Ryan, listen, Ryan, very quickly, Ryan, thank you very much for your input in the chat. Really, really appreciate it. I appreciate it. My brother Ron appreciates it.
Yes,
the interaction is actually wonderful. What we also would like is that you subscribe to the channel. Also, hit that thumbs up button, please. Okay.
Yes.
Because it makes us know that this is the content that people really want to know about. Excuse me. And you are right. Okay. Where in many states, hollow point shells are considered illegal. Many states, they're considered regular rounds.
I think Ryan already subbed to us before already.
Okay.
I think he's
all right, appreciate it. Thank you. All right, great. Thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate you. Because real talk, your comments are very valuable. Okay, yes. and we love them. We love when we have followers, subscribers, people who interact with us, because it makes us know that we don't know everything. And it thrives us to find out more, so we can continue having these intelligent conversations and protecting each other and others around us. And yes, Canada has very, very strict laws behind firearms. Now, the one thing I don't understand and I disagree with Canada is that Canada is running the same. I want to say this very, very loosely. They're following the colonial European way to govern with policing. Let me just do it that way. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I could not say for definitively, because I don't live in Canada, yet I do know that their government is being governed by the European colonialism. So in other words, they're following how the colonial of Europe is providing the information on how they are supposed to govern their people.
Yeah, good luck.
And I simply put it like that because, again, if you watch the actual physical live court cases, you see how the judges, the lawyers all dress up. And I say it just like that. They dress up just like the Europeans do when they're in court. So that tells me that they're following the rulings and the ways things are done in Europe, which of course comes back to colonization. So I appreciate your input. Some states you're allowed to carry concealed. What are you saying there, Ron?
Some states you're allowed to carry concealed guns. Just certain states.
Okay.
Especially, well, yeah, that's in America, yeah. Well, here's the thing in America.
Go for it, Ron.
In America, see, people try to not understand that the United States of America, the Constitution is supreme law. This local bull crap that they keep trying to throw in is not supreme law. So when you look at the United States as a whole, every state, you are technically allowed to carry concealed, rather it's concealed or not concealed. That's your constitutional right. That's your right in the Second Amendment. The right to keep and free arm, bear arms against government tyranny. So these local stuff that these states on, the reason why they're able to pull it off, because number one, the people vote for idiots. That's number one. Sorry. Hate to say it. They vote for idiots that allow them to go in there and try to write these laws to stifle the people's ability to defend themselves from government tyranny. That's the best way to put it.
And also, let me piggyback off of that. It violates the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment, which is the right to protect your property and self. So what we have found out and what I know of, which might be a little different than what we have found out, is that when you deal with the Supreme Court, which is the overall court that actually governs over all of all the states within the United States, and then of course you have what's called local government. Your local government is where you have said, well, Billy Bob or Tanisha or Juan Lewis can speak for me, but they're hindering me from actually carrying a firearm because they say it's safer. No, it's not safer because the criminal doesn't care about the law. Okay. Nope. So it's not safer. So when you keep voting for people who say it's safer for you to allow us to put the laws that don't allow you to have a weapon, no, those are not the ones that actually you should be fighting for, because those are the ones that are allowing more criminals to violate you, take from you, hurt you, take more from you than you ever even thought of. Because why? Because the law does not protect them. It hinders you, the law-abiding citizen, right? So
because
when you go ahead,
criminals don't care about that.
They don't.
That actually gives criminals the ability to know where to victimize the people even more, because they know that the people are not going to have firearms in a lot of cases to protect themselves in general because they're going to try to follow the law because they want to deal with that. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Right. No, you're good. You're good. And
I just wanted to make that point.
No, and you're absolutely correct. And and to piggyback off what you're saying, what tends to happen is this. I'll give you a very, very, very brief understanding what happens. A person gets caught with a firearm that's illegal, meaning they're not supposed to have it. They take the firearm from the person. They put the person in jail for approximately 8 months. And then they're back out on the street again. Yet a legitimately owner of a gun fires his or her weapon, injures another individual, they actually get put in jail for a longer time frame and still get their weapon taken away from them and ultimately possibly give it back at the end of the court proceedings. So how does it make sense that you follow the laws, but you hindered on what you can do? And then, of course, you're the criminal and you get more leniency because you're a criminal in certain states. Now, I believe
the only reason why anybody from government will want to do that is because they want to control the people. They don't do it for the sake of protecting citizens. That don't even affect that. Listen, that don't do nothing for criminals. Every bit of that is to give criminals free reign and make citizens victims.
True. Now, Ron, do me a favor because I barely could see. I see something about sentence with his last comment.
That one. If you get caught with the firearm, mandatory sentence.
Okay. Ryan, please let us know, what is that mandatory sentence? Is it 1 year or is it 10 years or 25 years? I'm curious. And then I could elaborate more on that sentence and collaborate that with what's actually happening in the United States. If you don't mind, please.
5 years.
Come on. Think about it. Let's think about that for a moment. Ryan, a subscriber and a great person in the chat. I really, really appreciate his statements and his comments. Right. So now we see that a criminal that has an illegal firearm will get 5 years in the state of Canada just for having it. In the United States, they get 365, which is 365 days or 364 days, or they turn around and get a minimum of a year or a year and a half, rather, should I say. And if they play it off correctly, they may even get less. Because if I'm not mistaken, Ron and I, we had a segment one time before where we talked about how where if I had the firearm and Ron is standing in front of me and the firearm is mine, it's my firearm, and I hand it to Ron, and Ron is looking at it respectably and professionally, and a police officer comes over and says, well, Ron right now is being charged with a felony because he has a weapon in his hand. No, that's not correct. Wrong. That is incorrect. That is abuse of power.
Right.
Okay. That's government tyranny. And that's not the way it's supposed to be because it's my gun.
Right.
Okay. That's tyranny. Whole reason why that's that local government. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead, because I want you to get your thought.
No. You go. Listen,
these people that do this type of stuff. So if a police pulls over and he see me holding a firearm that belongs to him and I have it. Listen, and I know people don't understand why they do this. The reason why they do this is because most of the time in the city, I'm going to talk about in the United States of America first. Because when they started throwing this stuff in there, it was specifically to try to keep black people from owning firearms. And I know people don't want to accept this part, but I'm telling you, this is the truth. So what they did was they put a clause in there and say, oh, if you have caught with a firearm that don't belong to you, they're going to make you a felon, right? All right, so now I get the police out there to go and patrol in certain specific neighborhoods and communities. If I catch somebody with a firearm, I automatically make them a felon. Making them a felon automatically just takes you away from being able to legally possess a firearm. Now, what crime did you really commit? None. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't shoot nobody, kill nobody, rob nobody. You didn't do anything with the gun to victimize anybody. They literally just made you a felon just because you possessed a gun that did not belong to you. It belonged to somebody you knew. That's how slick these politicians have become to try to make that happen.
and to piggyback off of that, this is where I say, and I don't care how many people want to go against me when I say this, laws are created to hinder the law-abiding citizen, not to hinder the criminal, because the criminal doesn't care. Criminals go in. Listen, there are so many police officers out there, and if you don't believe me, all you got to do is actually Google it, or even talk to your local police officer. Okay, those that you know and those that you can communicate with. Ask them how many times they keep putting the same criminal in jail for the same crime, or ask them how tired are they of putting the same criminal in and seeing the same criminal coming out with either a lesser charge. Because of course they go in with one charge and then they come out with a lesser charge because they just know how the system works. Because one of the most crimes I don't understand, and I cannot for the life of me understand why anyone in their right mind would turn around and have a person in court openly say, "I killed them and I apologize. It was out of anger." And instead of having capital punishment on that individual, they lessen the crime, they'll lessen the charge to that person. So if you can lessen the crime to the person that killed another family member or member of a family member, understand why that family member is angry. They don't like that fact that that individual took their family member away. But yet because they apologize in public in court, they get a lesser charge? No, you shouldn't get a lesser charge. That's why a lot of states have capital punishment. That's why people do not commit crimes in certain states, because they know in layman's terms they're going to get the book thrown at them. Florida, the sheriff of a specific county has specifically says, you touch any of my police officers or any of my deputies, we're going to notify your family to pick up your remains because we're going to shoot you dead. Openly said it. And I loved it. And that was in Florida. In Texas, it's capital punishment. You kill somebody, there's no, oh, I'm sorry. No, you go and bye-bye, period. Because that's the way it should be.
I will argue this fact with anybody. Can a dead criminal commit another crime? So the question is, can a dead criminal commit another crime?
Not in my world.
Do you have to store a dead criminal in the prison and pay taxes to keep them alive?
Not my taxes.
You see my point? So if you keep letting people, that's why I tell people these politicians, they use these criminals for political reasons, and this is why they do it. This is why they recycle them through the system over and over to make the crime rate look like it is high as possible, so they can keep getting government funding, state and government funding. So you take the city of Philadelphia, they want the crime, they want the murdering and killing. That's why they keep letting the same people out. Why? So then when they go to get funding, they say, "Oh, we got a crime problem. We got this problem." Why? So when they get all that funding, they can find slick ways to launder that money, and it never goes for what it's supposed intended for. It's for them to keep greasing their pockets and using the criminals as a means of stealing taxpayers' money from the government and the state, because they keep acting like something is something. If you go look at the criminal justice system, you're going to find out it's probably, like, let's say Philadelphia, it's probably about, out of 1.7 million people in the residence, it's probably only about 3,000 of them that's rotated in and out of the justice system, and they're doing all the crime.
You know, I got to ask Ron, do me a favor, run, because I'm not reading this. I just see eye for eye. What's that comment about Texas?
All right, hold up. Texas got a death penalty. Should be banned eye for eye. I agree with the death penalty.
Well, I agree with it too. If that's what the comment is, then I agree with it 100%. Eye for an eye. You shoot somebody, you kill them, you deserve to be dead. Period. Right. If I can prove without a doubt,
right,
indubitably, that you killed somebody, right, you deserve to die. Right. Period.
And when we say,
because the same pain that you caused.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like this. I agree with the death penalty, but I think that there has to be, like you said, it has to be unquestionable proof that you murdered somebody. Like, I'm not talking about somebody who killed somebody in self-defense and there's some questions behind it, even though they may have been found guilty. I don't think there's a death penalty situation with that. But somebody that's going around killing and murdering people heinously, and they know it's this person that done it, and they prove it 100%, and there is no question about this person, then I agree they should be put to death. They should be put to death. That way, no, we should not be storing them and paying taxes to feed them and clothe them and all that other stuff. No, death. That's just me. Now,
I want to move the goalposts. I want to move the goalposts when you finish. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm done. I'm done.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. So I agree with you. It should be without a doubt, it should be unequivocal that you are guilty of taking someone's life. And your life should be taken. Oh, you got the baby. I see it, the baby. The baby finally wanted to be on camera. Okay, I see it.
And say hello to everybody.
Finally decided to be on camera. Oh, I'm a cat lover when it belongs to somebody else.
She's always up under me, and she once she realized she could get in here, she was like, I can go see him. Now you go ahead, bro. Keep rocking out. So here's the question, Ron. I got a question for you because this is something that actually came into the news media, into one of my news fields, and I got to ask this question to you. So, if a 12-year-old boy stabs and kills an employee at a fast food restaurant, should that 12-year-old boy have his life taken away? That is a good, tough one. That's a tough one. All right. Why did he do it?
I'm going to leave that out for right now.
Okay. I'm gonna have to say no. And I know that's probably rare for me.
Why? I'm curious on why.
Only reason why I say that is because at 12 years old, I really don't think you understand fully what you did.
Okay.
So so it would be more me, like, I don't know, because I'm like, if I had to think about myself at 12 years old, I really didn't understand what life was and what death is to some extent. I know that people die, but I don't, if I'm just looking at my own mindset at that age, like, I'm just going to say, at 12 years old, I'm going to have to say, nah, I don't think I would do the death penalty with a 12-year-old. Like, that would be an extreme hard one. Now, if there was a 12-year run around just like killing people, then I might have it. Like, if they doing just out randomly just killing somebody, like a serial killer type person, then I probably would have a different I might have a different feel for it. But if they just if it was an incident where there's a 12 years old and they just happen to murder somebody and I don't know the whole story and they really don't understand what life is, but if they run around killing somebody, I'm sorry, then I will probably have to still charge them in the same manner. So I think if they had serial killer mentality, yeah, I'm sorry, I would, because I don't even want that to become an adult.
Then our subscribers are going to be mad at me.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say it. He deserves it.
Just so y'all know, y'all might see some blinking going on because our electrical companies around here are doing what they call, like, I guess, rolling blackouts or whatever.
Rolling blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might see some flashing.
They're trying to conserve energy.
Yeah. So, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'm just giving y'all one.
Yeah. So everybody's going to be mad at me because I say that little boy should have his life taken away. And I'm going to explain why. First, we have to understand something. The 12-year-old boy went and stabbed an employee at a fast food restaurant. So already the intent to go with a weapon into an establishment and take something from another person, because we did say before, and you said it, a bag of potato chips. You did say it.
Right.
And if the store owner gets mad enough to unalive that person for taking a bag of potato chips, why can't it be the other way around?
Oh no, I get
because
it.
now this 12-year-old boy, the 12-year-old boy stabbed the employee multiple times. It wasn't in self-defense.
Yeah, no,
it was not because their life was in danger.
Right.
So this is. I understand that when you hear the first part of the story, it's like, well, no, it shouldn't happen. But when you start hearing a little bit more details, like, well, wait a minute. Yeah. Then you got to think about it.
Well, that's why.
What was the cause?
Yeah, that's why I said if they like, like serial killer, like it depends on how severe the situation. Now, in that case, I don't know that story, but if he went in there, tell him, Rose, say, I'm telling you, kill him, take him out of here. All right, Rose, go. Go. But yeah, in that type of situation, I probably would be more inclined to. I don't even want that to become adult. If you that vicious at 12 years old, you're probably just going to get worse. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just my opinion.
Exactly.
So if you at vicious at 12 years old,
that's exactly right.
I don't think there's no. If you that vicious, that's a sign that you probably should never see the streets again or death.
Now, I'm going to take it a little bit further.
You see, she jumped back up here, right?
Not the 12-year-old boy. I see that. Not the 12-year-old boy, but a young lady that was an employee at McDonald's got into an argument with her manager at McDonald's, stabbed her manager multiple times, but she didn't get life, and killed her, unalived her. She didn't get life.
Why didn't she get life? Was there
back
like
against the government?
The only reason why the question I asked is, okay, was there any moment where the manager was threatening to do something to her?
Nope. The manager told her to leave. She was fired, terminated.
That's why she killed him.
Yep. She just. And here's the worst part. She left the McDonald's, and I know we're taking it a little bit further, but I just want you to understand something. Why I went this route. She went back to her vehicle, grabbed the knife from the vehicle, went back into the restaurant where she was working, and stabbed the manager.
Oh yeah,
multiple times. And it took a customer that was carrying his firearm. He shot 2 shots up into the ceiling that made her stop stabbing the woman.
No, she should get life. That's malicious.
But yes,
that's premeditated murder. She already thought she had time to think about it. Right. That's premeditated murder. She already had premeditated murder. Right. So she should get life.
Okay. So now let's revert back to the young man, the 12-year-old boy. 12-year-old boy went into.
He should be free as a bird. I know, I'm joking.
So you see, it really comes down to the state, the laws of how they function. Okay?
Right.
Because again, as we see, the overall law should be, if you take a life, you lose your life. That's the overall. Right. Because if I could be mistaken, but I believe an eye for an eye is something that is in a lot of religious books. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's in the Old Testament of the Bible in there.
So here's my thing: if the overall law
in the book of Leviticus in the Old Testament, when they was writing the laws, that's what the law. Take a life for a life, basically. I'm not getting to the old thing, but it's take a life for a life.
Okay. So now we look at how government tyranny and the Second Amendment gets violated in many states. The Second Amendment is the overall rule.
Right.
But yet many states, and as we see as graciously that Ryan had noted to us, in certain countries, they also have this ruling where, no, we're going to let you slide. We're going to be lenient on you because you committed a crime. It's not right. It really isn't.
No.
Now, how we tie this all together when we talk about Firearm Friday is based off of how every state has a different law and how they look at the law. But the one main rule, actually 2 main rules, are the Second Amendment
right,
and the 14th Amendment are not supposed to be violated by anyone, but unfortunately they do. And then the second part is how law-abiding citizens are the ones that are hindered with the local laws that are literally violating the 2nd and 14th Amendment. So, now that should be here too.
Yeah.
It should be here too. So, when we talk about all these things, now we got to understand something. Everybody, please understand here on the Firearm Friday show, we don't only talk about specific guns and or specific weapons. We talk about everything that comes around to fit what Firearm Friday is about.
Right. Yep.
So we understand that here our biggest gripe or our plight is government tyranny.
Right.
On how the government wants to control what we can, what we cannot have, and or when or where we can actually have what we are supposed to have. So the video that I'm going to show you now, Ron, because I did say that I was going to actually mess up your head for the rest of the night. I gave you forewarning. The video we're going to watch tonight now is a video that you sent me, and I dug a little deeper into it, okay? And I came up with some interesting things that I will need your opinion on. So let's run the video first. I'm not going to play it again.
In my head, I'm assuming that these are rubber bullets coming out these guns or something. I don't know. This don't even make sense. Rose, you got to get down. She keep jumping back up on me like, you got to stay down. All right, I'm not even going to fight with you.
She wants to be next to her pop.
Yeah, I'm good. All right. But yeah, I don't. I'm hoping there's a good reason for this. I'm hoping. I can't imagine what could possibly be 6-inch bullets flying 6 inches from my head, but hey.
Now the video that I couldn't download the video that you sent me.
Right.
Which was very similar to that.
Same thing. But it looked like the same one, but I know
it wasn't because the one you sent me was the instructor firing a pistol into the dirt. This one is actually using a rifle into the dirt. Same concept.
But why?
You know how we talk about how instructors are doing things incorrectly. In this specific country, I found where that video came from.
Okay.
Because of course, the one that presented the video that you sent me, a good trainer, a good shooter, fantastic guy. His name is James Well, I believe, James Well, or James Warewell, something like that. The guy is phenomenal. I reached out. I didn't reach out to him, but I reached out to a lot of his videos. I saw a lot of his videos. Did a little research on him. He's a trainer. He's a sports shooter, and he has a plethora of companies that support what he does.
Okay.
Now, to me, that means you're just a glorified shooter.
Right.
You're not an instructor. To me, because I don't know where your background is. I don't know how you got to where you are.
Right.
Without that knowing, I cannot justify that you know what you're doing. So he was gracious enough to put that video up there, and he made a comment to that content creator, telling that content creator they still had time to take that video down, which is the one that you sent me with the guy firing the pistol. The same exact way. Somebody laying on the ground, firing 6 inches from his head, and the guy turned around and asked, the content creator said, "Why do I need to take it down?" He never answered him. Right. And of course, that intrigued me to find out why they had this back and forth.
Yeah.
So it comes out that the video, what we just watched, is actually in Africa.
Okay.
I
had a feeling that it was, but I just wasn't sure, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to lean towards it. just because of the atmosphere there looked like someplace in Africa. That was it. Just the scenery.
Okay.
That was the only reason why I assumed it, but I didn't know.
Now here's the funny thing. Do we know why they train that way in Africa?
I mean, I guess they're trying to give you a real life experience. If you're
Exactly.
in war.
Exactly.
But,
because exactly. So we can't say that it's right or wrong because we're here in the United States. We do things differently.
Right.
So the way we train, let me rephrase that. The way we are seen to teach other people about firearms is not the same as it is in other countries. Right. So that's the first thing we have to understand is why was it being done that way? We know that in Africa, unfortunately, there's a lot of rebellious people. Okay.
Right.
And these people, they don't have an idea of what they're really doing. They just want to intimidate you with the sound, because that's something that we spoke about as far as the silencers. The silencers were created so that you don't get confused when you're firing your weapon and get startled from your own weapon. Remember, we spoke about that.
Air protection.
Air protection. Correct. So we look at how in that video, that instructor is showing that person, no matter what's happening next to you, you stay focused on what you're looking at and firing at. That's the bottom line. So, of course, I dug a little deeper. And
okay. Put a speaker beside him with some ammo sound.
Oh, that ain't going to work. You need real life stuff that goes on like that.
I'm sorry. I just don't. You can't. I just feel like you're putting someone's life at the. If I'm training you for war, in that type of situation, you're going to end up killing me before we get on the field. It takes one mistake with that bullet to put one in his head.
This is true. Now, here's the funny thing. If we go back to the 1940s, 1950s for just a moment.
Okay.
When people were being forced into the military, they were not really taught what to experience when they're actually in the middle of combat. They had live rounds being thrown at them. So that same concept was considered to be normal. And of course, Ron has frozen. So as Ron returns, we're going to run this 30-second commercial because I know my brother Ron would appreciate it. So with that, stand by 30 seconds, please.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and they're probably killing you. No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, B-O-T-T-U, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
All right, so as we wait for my brother Ron to come back, everybody, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, because there's a lot of content that we love to share. And of course, big old shout out to Ryan for sharing his points of view. And of course, the comments in the chat room is always appreciated. And every interaction, including the actual like button, is always appreciative, because this way we know that the content that we're talking about, many people are comfortable with and they want to see it. So this is what we strive for. We strive for the interaction. We strive for people just letting us know what they want to see and hear. Okay. So don't feel ashamed. It's nothing bad. Hit the like button, share the content, subscribe to the OG Network. If you subscribe to the OG Network, we're going to give you a promo code OG Network 26 for 15% off every purchase that you do over at Top to Bottom. Excuse me. You only got to spend $35 and you get 15% off using the promo code OG Network 26.
Yes.
And of course, it is something that's beneficial to you because, of course, Ron is a person that can speak of the products there because he has purchased many products. And he knows exactly what the products are. So he would not, I want to say, speak highly of anything if he does not feel comfortable with it. So with that being said, a moment ago, we was talking about how we can see a person laying on the ground. We talk about how in different countries, people get taught different ways of using firearms.
Right.
And they're getting trained different ways. So when we look at this factor, we have to understand we cannot.
I got a question for you, Jay.
Go ahead, go for it, brother.
What if you was the guy on the ground?
Listen, if I'm the guy on the ground, I got to be ready for it because that's what I signed up for. If I signed up for it, I got to deal with it.
If I'm the guy on the ground and I got live rounds in mine, I'm gonna turn around and put you down.
Hey, then you got to put me down.
They're gonna say, "Why'd you shoot him?" Well, I thought we was having some real live event. So he shot at me, I shot at him. What's the problem?
Yeah, I get it. I really get it. And I tell you, it's when I looked into the guy that did the video.
Right.
He's an instructor.
I mean, that's your country. That's how you train. It is what it is. I'm personally like, I don't think you have to be that extreme to get your point across. That's my whole point.
Well, this brings me back to the statement I was saying before, Ron. When in the early 40s, 50s, and 30s, before we had choices, many individuals were forced into the military, and they didn't know what they were coming into.
No, I agree.
And they had live rounds shot at them,
right?
So they can learn what it's all about. One of the most famous movies that spoke about that was Apocalypse Now with Robert Duvall, when all the famous actors that many people know were very young, like Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was 17 when he did that movie. Okay. Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne, I believe, was 16 or 18, one of those two, when he did that movie. And they didn't know what was happening. And they thought it was live rounds being shot at them. But they had to make it so lifelike so they understand what it's like. Right. So when we look at other countries and how they're being taught how to use weapons, we cannot say that it's wrong without us knowing or understanding why it's being done that way.
Why they're doing it, right? No, I agree.
So that's that's
right.
Go ahead.
You know, when I send you a video, you know, I don't really like look at them and I don't deep dive.
Yeah, I know.
But we, like I said, this is the reason why we do the show this way, so that we can have our own individual opinions on it, right?
Facts.
Now, I agree with you that, you know, this is the way they train. That's fine. I would quit at that moment. But listen, I get it. If you want to give them a real life experience, you got to do what you got to do. But I feel like that is because I know what bullets do. Right. I know they ricochet.
Right.
I know they have a tendency to do something that you didn't expect them to do.
True.
So that's why I just feel like that's a bit too risky. Like, you can let the gun off, but why do you have to shoot so close to the person to get your point across? Like, I watched this story.
Go ahead.
Where this father lost his own son. He accidentally shot his own son. And actually it was on forensics, right? His father was in a gun competition where they competed in gun competition.
Okay.
Right? They was at an outdoor gun range, but there's a building, a facility that's like a little ways from there. Okay. Somehow the bullet went through the eyebrow part where they had like the boards, what they call the eyebrow. It went through a little small part of the eyebrow, the gun range, missed the dirt berm, because of course there was a maintenance issue with the place too, but missed the dirt berm, went through the roof, like the part between the side of the building and the roof of the part. It went through the steel of the roof, ricocheted off some drop ceiling. His son was sitting in the doorway of this place on the other side, and he came down and shot his son in the head.
Okay.
And he accidentally, like, it went through so many obstacles and hit his son in the head. And this man has to live with it every day that he accidentally shot his son. No one would have ever thought that the bullet would have been able to do all of that before he got to his son. That's the reason why I say I think that's listen. I get that that's how they train, but in my personal opinion, I just think where you think you predicting what a bullet's going to do, they have a tendency to sometimes surprise you.
And I'm going to have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as I agree with you, and like we said before, this is the reason why we do these videos is
Right.
because we always come up with something great or controversial. So if I was to say to you right now that I know for a fact, unequivocally, 100%, 10 toes down, okay, no one in their right mind would even dare step to me and say that I'm wrong with this one. Are you aware that the United States Marine Corps still, and I say this very emphatically, if that's a word, still to this day uses live ammunition to fire amongst the boots in the Marine Corps during training?
All right. I'm gonna have to agree with you. Only because I know somebody that's like, I ain't gonna say closely, but I remember them talking about, this wasn't even that long ago. They were a lot younger than me, of course, but they were talking about their experience in the Marines. I was like, they what?
So you see, this is the reason why everything comes round. It sounds like we're talking things out of the ordinary, but
Right.
there's always a way to bring them back together.
Back to
back
the
to the starting point.
subject
Right.
at hand.
Right. And the reason why I say that is because I remember it happening, and I just had to see if it was actually still happening. And we're talking about a good 30 years. It's still happening. Live ammunition is being shot at Marines that are learning how to be Marines. Okay. So if I could tell you that I remembered it, and that was like 4 decades ago,
Right.
and it's still happening. So what we just saw in the video constitutes to the same thing. It just looks unfortunate when you're seeing it happening, and you're like, well, damn, we cannot be that barbaric.
Right. I mean, I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that that's uncomfortable.
I understand it's uncomfortable. And I can tell you like this from experience. I remember the words like it was yesterday. As long as you don't stick your head up past the line, you don't have to worry about the bullet hitting your head. Because I could tell you that when it's happening during training where you are actually in the trenches. What we call the trenches is the dirt, and you have these a specific height of wires above your head, and you have to learn how to literally crawl across with your pack, okay, and your rifle. You have to go underneath this line. If your head comes up at any moment past that line, you're done. And it ain't a high line. It's not like a good 26 inch. No, it's a specific height. Now, the reason is because they believe that height is the height that the trajectory of a bullet would not able to come down as it's fired. That's the theory behind it. There's no proof behind it, but we have seen, as many times we've seen, including big shout out to Van Tech and the Van Tech family. We've seen how the father showed his son how to actually be a sniper.
Right. Yeah.
Now, at no moment, Ron, I could be wrong about this, but you tell me, have you ever heard of a sniper hitting something that's 6 inches off the ground or 12 inches off the ground? Have you ever?
I've never seen them shoot at nothing that close to the ground.
That's the theory. And as we know, the theory is an opinion, but that's the theory. Nothing under 16 inches would be fired upon because there's no guarantee it's going to hit that target at 16 inches or lower. That's why they teach you that in the Marine Corps, when you crawling, you better crawl 16 inches or lower. You might have a chance to survive. So, when we looked at that video,
I don't know. I never been, but I think there might be. I mean, I don't think that they're saying that there is nothing going to happen. I agree with you. I think there's more like it's a theory, but that's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee. Of course, it's not a guarantee. Nothing is. The only thing is in life is guaranteed. You're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
That's the guarantee.
Guaranteed. That's why you need to buy these light pills.
And listen, when I start doing my reaction videos, you're gonna laugh when I show you the life pill. You're gonna laugh. I'm telling you now. You're gonna have a real good laughter in this one. So before we start getting ready to run at it, is the one last video, or maybe one to second last. Okay. I want to show you and want your opinion on it. Is because of course we talk about training. We talk about gun safety. We talk about who should not actually be taught to use a firearm. So, Ron.
Before y'all screenshot this like it's some type of evidence, let me just make one thing clear. Yes, those are my sons. Yes, those are firearms. And yes, if you pay attention, I'm standing right there. Now that last part, it matters the most because Haki is 2026, dog. Kids can learn anything without a parent nowadays. They get cussing from YouTube, lying from TikTok. Then they got the nerve to get their confidence from people who still live with their mama.
Hold it tight.
But if you let dear old dad teach them what to do with a mag, now everybody got a badge. Everybody want to pull out their Bible. Everybody want to write a paragraph. Look, y'all need to relax, real talk. I stay in Arizona and I was raised in Detroit, you feel me? Now, I'm not raising soldiers. Well, I am, but really I'm just trying to raise sons who understand dangerous things require discipline.
Go ahead.
I tell them fire does, cars do, money does. Even your mouth if you don't know how to watch it and use it in the right terms, you feel me? Honestly, some of y'all need supervision before y'all even open up your comment section. Y'all go off no facts, no content, just trauma, drama, and unlimited data.
Turn the safety on.
My tongue twister. But look, the first lesson here, it's not about shooting. It's listening. Slow down. Think first. Respect what's in your hands, you know? That lesson is way bigger than any gun.
One more.
Real talk, one day I'm not going to be standing this close.
Yeah.
So while I am, I'm making sure the lesson's not louder than the gun.
I agree with him. I mean, I agree. I think, I think is for kids, at that age, like he said, they're gonna learn, and a lot of times they're gonna learn the wrong way. Now, I don't think these kids were well learned. I will say that much. But I'm glad that he's training them. I'm glad he's teaching them, and I'm glad they're not getting it off the streets where they don't teach you right. They don't teach you this. They don't teach you that. Now, he might not be the best trainer, but like I said, I didn't see a whole lot of clean finesse. But I'm glad that he's teaching them, and he's teaching them the right way. And over time, they'll get a lot better than what they are. It did not look like they was doing this it didn't look like they knew what they were doing on a professional level. They looked like they were in the beginning stages of the basic of how to use a firearm. That's what it looked like to me. They didn't look like they've been doing this for a while. But I'm glad he's doing it. Instead of them learning from the streets and go out there and thinking they better than everybody because they got a gun, and that's not what this is about.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I agree with you partially.
Okay.
And the reason why I agree with you partially is because the things that you mentioned are correct. Where I found difficulty in watching the video was not at not one moment did any of those two children made sure that there was nothing in the chamber.
Oh, no, I agree.
Okay. That's where for me,
he had to tell him put the safety on. That was the reason why I said they looked like they was in the beginning stages of training.
Well,
because there was a lot missing. To me, there was more missing.
Right. And that's what we talked about. Moses always assumed the gun
All
is
guns
loaded.
loaded. Right.
Always. So
Always.
when that young man, after he pulled that trigger and he went and picked up the pistol, looked down at it, he could have pulled the trigger and shot. If there was anybody in front of him, they would have been shot.
Right. Yeah.
Because he did not. He did not securely look at it while it was facing down. The
Right,
young man with the AK.
That's why I said it wasn't no clean. This wasn't no clean look. I was being nice when I said it wasn't no clean look. I said it wasn't one. They didn't look like they were well done, well professional with this. I said it looked like the beginning stages of somebody learning how to use a firearm, because there's a lot. There's so much missing in this that I did not want to be too critical, because I was listening to his message. So his message to me was like, okay, I don't think they're at the stages of where they're like, you could say, oh, you could tell these kids are well trained. No, they didn't look like that. They looked like they were far from well trained. They looked like that this was their first shot, maybe second at the most.
I'll agree with you now.
But what I also think that is, he needs to sit the guns down and have more conversation.
Yes.
With them.
Yes. The obedience. I'm going to piggyback off of what you had said to me once before, and I graciously am humbled that you used that phrase, and I'm going to run with it. He has not taught them the obedience way to be with a weapon, because if he had taught them, or if he is teaching them, he needs to emphasize the obedience part first, because even to how they're struggling with the weapon and the weight and so forth, you have not taught them how to manage that weight. Firing, anybody can fire a weapon. That's the unfortunate side. It's how to manage that weapon if it starts getting a little reckless on you. Right. That comes back with the obedience part.
Right.
And I'm glad you gave me that
ways
word.
to go.
Yeah,
they got ways to go.
Definitely.
A lot of ways to go.
Definitely.
And it's funny you say that, right? When we start talking about obedience, and I don't know if I ever told the story, but I was at the range with my niece and my nephew, and I went to the range with them, and my nephew, I'm not gonna say this was the first time, because I don't know, it might have been his first time, but going to the range. But what I respected about him is that he stayed with this, and he was being obedient. He asked questions. He was following to the hilt. Every instruction that I gave him, he remembered it, and he never deviated from it.
Okay.
And, after it was all over, we went home. I was talking to my niece, and she was like, yeah, he really enjoyed himself. He had fun. He was like, he have a different respect for gun. He wants to do it again. Right. And my niece was like, she's kind of asking like, how do you think? I said, let me tell you something. I said, I would trust him side by side than I would trust a lot of people. I said, because he did not come in there like he knew what he was doing. Right. He went straight into a student mode and listened to everything that I said, to the point that I was impressed, because he started reiterating the information to his sister. Okay. And he was watching her closely to make sure that she did not make mistakes, even though they both heard the same message at the same time. Right. They knew everything, but he still was like, no, sis, don't do that, blah, 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 this and that. And and I said to her, I said, honestly speaking, if it's something that he enjoyed and he seemed like he embraced it, you might want to send him somewhere where he can actually learn how to do gunsmithing and stuff. I said, because he likes it. I said, don't look at it as a negative. If this is something that he embraced, he might learn how to build weapons, manufacture them, make them, design. He might come up with a new design for something that nobody thought of. I said, because it's rare to find somebody in a teenager's age, because I think we took him there. I think he was 16 at the time, or 17. Okay. I'm going to say 16. But he was so on. What's up, mental raccoon? How you doing? God bless you. He was like, he was sick. I think he was 16 at the time, but like I said, I was highly impressed. I was. Cool. I walked out of that gun range more certain that if he took where he was at that gun range, I knew he'd be okay. I knew he wouldn't be out there wilding out and stuff like that. He had fun. He had a good time. He enjoyed himself. and he got to shoot everything that I had at that time. That's what I'm saying. That.
Let me get 30 seconds in there. Mental Raccoon, listen real quick. We appreciate you sliding on through. Mental Raccoon, listen. I got to tell you this from the bottom of my heart, brother. You keep doing what you're doing, brother. Don't get sidetracked with what's happening out there. It's your craft. It's your enjoyment. It's what makes you whole. It's what gives you joy. Don't worry about what society is dignifying what you're doing.
Right.
You keep doing what you're doing. I saw and heard something a while back, and it kind of bothered me. So please, Mental Raccoon, if you're still in the live, you're still in the chat, just keep doing what you're doing, brother. You got a talent that many people do not understand. Okay, you keep doing what you're doing, brother. Please keep doing what you're doing.
I agree.
Please.
I agree. Let the haters hate.
That's right. The haters are only gonna make you much more better. That's it.
Let the haters be your motivators. The more they hate, the more you motivate. The more you do what you do.
That's right. Please don't stop doing what you're doing.
Right. Real talk.
You love it. Just keep doing it. Now, I apologize, Ron, for coming on because I didn't want him to jump out. I didn't want him to jump out and not miss out what I was saying.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Because I heard something. Too. I heard something that put a pin in me, and I didn't like it. And I just want him to know from me. I want him to hear it from me directly, versus reading it. Now, we a moment ago we was talking about how training is a factor, obedience is a factor, and you mentioned a moment ago how this your cousin or your nephew enjoyed the gun range so much, and how one day he could probably be a builder of weapons or a blacksmith or something of that nature. So the next video I want you to see, I want your opinion on it, based off of what you said about your nephew or cousin.
Hey, baby, about to go sight in one of my guns. But look, I want to show y'all something, bro. This thing called the Gun Guardian. See this right here? So fire. You can even lock your trigger up. Check it out. Look how it fit. Close your bag. You ain't got to worry. You can have your scope, anything on it, man. This thing real cool. Gun Guardian. Pull it down. Or you just pull it down, back, and you can leave it like that.
That's on your side, I think.
Might be. I don't know. Might be on my side. It's definitely on my side.
Okay. Well, that young man. Let me see if I can get it back up there again. Maybe I put it back up. It might fluctuate into forcing it to work.
Hey, baby, about to go sight in one of my guns. But look, I want to show y'all something, bro. This thing called the Gun Guardian. See this right here? So fire. You can even lock your trigger up. Check it out. Look how it fit. Close your bag. You ain't got to worry. You can have your scope, anything on it, man. This thing real cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It ain't working.
I don't know.
But whatever. Okay. So here's the deal. It's called the Gun Guardian, right?
Right.
And as we saw, it actually protects the actual trigger from a misfire or a unseen firing because it protects the actual trigger. Now, the more important part for that video of what is that it's an AR in that metallic blue. That thing was beautiful.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Beautiful. Okay. Now, I wonder if maybe if I played it. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Well, let me just double check something.
I like that blue.
That thing was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
Okay. When I seen it, I say I gotta show this to Ron because it's, of course, I know you have a couple of ARs and you love AR platforms. And I wanted to show you this metallic blue on how pretty it was. And it's a damn shame that it doesn't want to play. Even on my side now, it doesn't want to play. But I'll send you the video.
And guess what? It's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. You know what I'm gonna do today?
Hold on. That might work now. Hold on. Where is
Yeah, I liked it, that blue. And funny thing, a place I used to work
Hey,
at, they used to have these
about to
little
go sight in one of
square
my guns. But look, I want to show y'all something, bro. Let me get my magazine right.
Yeah, okay.
Shoot, I'm already. I got a different trigger guard right here, and it's still blocking my down. Or you just pull it down, back, and you can leave it like that, or you can guard your trigger. And look, I got a different trigger guard right here, and it's still blocking my trigger. Still can't touch it. Pretty cool, man. Y'all go check out Gun Guardian, man. Y'all go check out. Where's my magazine? Let me get my magazine right quick. Shoot, I'm already hyped. Let's see this thing. In a minute, baby. So basically, I'm gonna let a couple shots off. Bam, bam. Cover my trigger. Just like that. Gun Guardian, man. Hey, brother, and he got all kind of different colors, everything. And guess what? It's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. You know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna have a sale on Bullet Beater. So go to bulletbeater.com and go get you a Bullet Beater. It got a sale going on right now.
He need to tell us where he got that damn customized pistol at. That's what he need to tell us.
Yeah,
that's why he's supposed to tell us.
That's Black Rambo.
Oh, that's Black Rambo?
Yeah, I met him before.
Okay.
Yeah, he was one of the gun shows I was at. Same one I go to in Oaks, PA. He was there.
Okay.
Man, we busted up for a little bit. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, of course I follow him on YouTube. He actually follows the channel too. But he's a cool dude, man. Like I had a little bit of powwow with him. Not long, but he actually a decent dude, man. But he got a lot of gun content, bro. This dude, man.
Man, that he needs to tell us. He needs to tell us where he got that dang gun customized like that.
Yeah, it was nice. That blue was nice.
That metallic blue is fire.
Yeah. They used to have this little part where I used to work at that had that same color blue on it. And I used to wonder, I was like, man, if I had something painted, like a car painted with this color, it looks so nice. But when they gun it, looks nice. I would do it. I ain't gonna lie, I'd do it.
Oh, I would too.
I would too. I would hang it up right behind me.
Now, what I won't do before we leave the show,
right,
is do this buffoonery.
Uh-oh. Glitter guns.
Now, look. I ain't gonna stop anybody else.
Imagine getting shot by a glitter gun.
Listen.
And I hate glitter. I think glitter is demonic, bro. It gets everywhere. Everywhere. So could you imagine you pick up that? Really, Rose? She's back again, bro.
She wants your attention. She's doing to you what these are doing to me.
Oh man.
Your attention is not supposed to be there anymore. That's what they're saying.
I know. You are a Rose.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. The funny thing, I've been training them how to sit, which with cats ain't like dogs, bro.
No, they're not. They as stubborn as a stubborn mule.
Yeah, but I got them doing it. My lady didn't think I could, but I did.
Congratulations.
She was like, I never thought you would be able to train. She said, let me find out you the cat whisperer. But yeah, I got them trained. They're that's as far as I made it though, is just getting them to sit.
Yeah, that's a major milestone for cats.
Rose did it first earlier, but it took a while for Lily. Like it took probably a couple of more weeks before even she started realizing what I was doing, and she started doing it too. So now they both. Of course, I had to use treats to do it, but it actually worked with them. They do it on cue now.
Congratulations, that's what's up.
Yeah, they spoiled though. I like them though. These are my little babies.
Hey, listen.
They good cats though. They real good cats, man.
I like them as long as you have them.
Yeah. Say hello to Uncle Jay. Say hello, Jay.
Hi, Rose. She's like, yeah, whatever. Get my treat.
Funny when she was sitting on my lap before you was talking, she just kept staring at the camera and looking at you like.
She's like, what is this imbecile talking about?
Right. Yeah, great show, bro. Great show. Like always.
Absolutely great show.
I mean, we're going to keep this train rolling. Real
yes,
talk.
Sir.
Keep this train rolling. I like it, man. I like it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like where we're going with this and educating the crowd, giving them something positive to look forward to. For those of them, you know, tell your friends, tell your family. Every Friday, except for next Friday, we will not be here. I'll be out of town, of course. But next Friday, we will not have the show next Friday. So, but every Friday at 7:00 p.m., we have Fire on Fridays. Unless something changes, which can happen. And we do this show live. We share, we share stuff that we may see. I send him a video. He may send me something, and we'll talk about it on the show. And that's why we try to have these conversations on the show so that we can have our own individual opinion about what we see and respond to it, and then the audience can engage with it, because that helps us educate each other. You know what I mean? It helps us educate each other on firearms, safety, and stuff like that. And one thing I want to say before we get up the show, and I'm gonna let Jay say what he has to say after I say this, is that wherever you go, whether it's walking down the street, in a building, visiting somebody, wherever it is, this is just my take. Try your best to leave it slightly better than you found it. If there's anything you want to do to make the world better, wherever you go, if it means just make people smile before you walk out the building, you left there, made them a little bit, you made that place a little bit better than you found it. And I think if we all had that attitude, the world would just get a little bit better and a little bit nicer. And that's just my take. Any last words, my brother?
I can't even say anything after that wonderful speech. There's nothing I can say. Actually, no. The only thing I can say is, everybody, of course, we appreciate you sliding on through, whether it's during the live or watching the recap. We appreciate it. You know, share the content with someone else. Let someone else know what we do. We do what we do because we love gun talk. Gun talk does not only specifically mean about a weapon or a style of weapon. It means everything behind gun talk, from protection to learning to understanding to obedience to trusting, everything to the laws. And the biggest thing that we stand 10 toes down on is against government tyranny. The government should not tell you what to buy, how to buy, when to buy, what you can buy. Okay. Right. Because if they tell you can't, it is because they don't want you to have something that's going to stop them from getting in your business. That is why it's the Second and 14th Amendment. The Second and 14th Amendment are two overall laws that are not supposed to be hindered on anyone. So with that being said, please understand that our channel here on Ron's Opinion Don't Matter OG Network.
Yes.
Fire on Fridays, 7 p.m. You're going to get a whole slew of stuff getting talked about. And it's all about the laws, the Second Amendment, 14th Amendment, guns, gun talk, and so forth. Because at the end of the day, we're just here to get people to understand what guns are about, the safety behind it, and the actual dangers behind it as well. We may talk about videos, we may talk about pictures. But at the end of the day, it's all about all of us coming together and understanding and how to respect the weapons of choice, even down to our own personal ones that we have purchased. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you that come through. And I give a big old shout out to Mental Raccoon, to Ryan. I think it was Ryan Anthony, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And big old shout out to everybody else from the OG Network family.
Yes.
Coco Lovely. Appreciate her stopping on through. And a big old shout out to every member of the OG Network, because I know everybody's doing their own thing. And of course, it's always a pleasure to see everybody to come together when we can. And, you know, like you said before, we're going to keep rocking with this show.
Yes. For those that are still on the live, Out the Pit Live is on right now, and if somebody wants some other content to go to, just go check out Out the Pit Live.
Oh yeah, that's right. They say 9 o'clock.
They're online right now. They're out on live doing that show. I got my thing playing, but I'm going to bed. I got them on, but I'm going to bed.
I promised them I'll go straight through.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be there, but I'm not gonna be there.
Shut it down. Bed.
All right, brother. Everyone, y'all have a blessed, wonderful
day. All right,
day.
brother.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions, you looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Make the whole night something. Hands up, don't panic, we came for the win. Flow start shaking when the crew walk